Boundaries are not just about keeping others at bay. Healthy boundaries are important for letting people in as well. We need healthy boundaries so that we can get the benefits of healthy relationships and still protect ourselves from being overburdened by relationships. So how do we learn to have healthy boundaries? Well, when we're first born, we're purposefully entwined and have very few boundaries because we're so dependent on our parents in those first years. But when we grow into our teenage years, we need to start forming our own personal boundaries. And if we don't make the shift to adult individuation, we never become fully able to take care of ourselves and have healthy, intimate relationships. This process of individuation is dependent on having healthy parents who themselves have these firm but permeable boundaries. For example, say we have a parent who's home alone and the child comes home and is crying and upset because someone was mean to them. The parent with healthy boundaries can stay calm while still showing concern and care for the child, modeling what healthy boundaries look and feel like. The parent is saying, I care for you, I feel for you that you're in pain, but I am not feeling your pain, I'm okay, and I can be here to hug you and help you through this. Now let's say the parent and child are a little enmeshed, which means the parent doesn't have sufficient boundaries and actually experiences the child's emotions as their own. This parent might cry along with the child or call the person who was mean to the child and scream at them. They can't be calm and present enough to be the grown-up and be strong while comforting their child. The enmeshed parent is modeling for the child that emotions are too much to bear. On the other end of the spectrum, the parent whose boundaries are too firm might look over to the child and say, "What's wrong with you? Stop crying." We might call this being avoidant, having too many boundaries. Even if the child is brave enough to tell the parent what happened, the parent says, "Oh, get over it, you'll be fine," and does nothing to comfort the child. Now, in reaction to a parent with these unhealthy boundaries, whether enmeshed or avoidant, the child gets the message that emotions are too much or too burdensome to handle. The child becomes either afraid to show any emotion because they don't want to be emotionally absorbed by the enmeshed parent or rejected by the avoidant parent. Or the child can become super emotional in order to try and get him or herself heard above the parent's dysfunction. Whatever the reason, let's say that you've come to a place in your life where you realize that you don't have the healthiest of boundaries. Well, don't worry, all is not lost. With the help of a trained professional therapist or psychologist, you can teach yourself how to have healthy boundaries and learn how to handle emotions within relationships.